For centuries, people have dreamed of sharing thoughts without speaking. From old novels to futuristic movies, the idea of telepathy has always fascinated our imagination as something magical and impossible. But now that fantasy has moved a step closer to reality, in a groundbreaking experiment, scientists have managed to connect the minds of 3 people, allowing them to share thoughts directly for the very first time. This achievement marks a huge step in understanding how the human brain communicates and opens the way for a future where brain-to-brain interaction could become a normal part of life. Researchers achieve this by using a mix of non-invasive brain stimulation and electroencephalography, or EEG, to build what they call a triadic brain network. EEG was used to record the brain activity of one person, while brain stimulation was used to send those signals into another person's brain. The process worked in a loop. One person's brain activity was recorded, translated into a digital signal, and then delivered to the next person who could receive and interpret it. Using this system, 3 people were able to exchange basic information, make group decisions, and even solve problems all without speaking a word. At this stage, the communication was simple. The participants were not having deep conversations or sharing memories. Instead, they could send yes or no signals, or simple choices like left or right. Even with this limited ability, the group was able to work together. In one example, they were able to vote mentally and agree on a decision. In another, they solved simple puzzles as a team using only thought signals. It may not have been full telepathy as we imagine in science fiction, but it was a powerful demonstration of how 3 human minds could work as one connected system. The potential uses of this technology are enormous. For people with disabilities, especially those who cannot speak or move, brain-to-brain communication could be life-changing. Instead of relying on special devices or outside help, they could directly share their thoughts with others. In medicine, doctors might one day link their minds to collaborate on difficult cases, combining their expertise instantly. In education, students could learn complex ideas more quickly if teachers could pass on knowledge directly through thought. Even in space missions, astronauts could use this technology to communicate silently and quickly in high-stakes situations. However, this breakthrough also raises serious ethical questions. The biggest concern is privacy. If thoughts can be shared, how can we make sure only the thoughts we want to share are transmitted? Our minds are full of random, fleeting, and sometimes private ideas that we would never want others to see. Another issue is consent. How can we guarantee that no one is forced to share thoughts against their will? There are also risks of hacking. Just as computers can be attacked, brain networks might one day be vulnerable to outsiders who could steal or manipulate thoughts. And beyond these practical issues lies a deeper one. If minds can be linked, what happens to our sense of individuality? Will we start to lose the boundaries that make us who we are? The successful linking of 3 human brains is more than a technical success. It is a turning point in how we think about ourselves. For the first time, people have shared thoughts directly, without words, gestures, or writing. The technology is still young, and we must move forward carefully, protecting privacy, consent, and human dignity. But the achievement is no less inspiring. It shows us that the human brain is not only the source of thought, but also the next great frontier of discovery. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: we have entered a new era of communication. The first bridge between minds has been built. How we choose to use it and where it takes us will shape the future of humanity.